And I think that any movement, and Hizmet is a movement like that, that contributes to the non-Muslim world's understanding of Islam, is contributing to future peace. My name is Alan Maller. I am a rabbi. To be specific, I'm a Reform rabbi. So my first trip to Turkey was a long time ago. Since that time, I've been back 3 or 4 times. As I mentioned before, we've been to Turkey on several occasions. Once we went on a tour of educators, and we visited a school in Konya. My wife is a teacher, and so were many of the people on this educators, and it was actually religious leaders tour. And so we all were quite impressed by the school that we saw in terms of not just the physical plant, which was very nice, but even more important to what we saw going on in the classrooms, the way the teachers were, the way the children were. First of all, they seemed very excited about being in school and learning. And we were told about the curriculum. And I know that because I met several people who were involved as teachers in Hizmet schools, not just in Turkey, but we met one who'd been in not Afghanistan, and I think Turkmenistan and Azerbaijan. I even met somebody here who had spent a couple of years in Taiwan in a Hizmet school. So I was impressed, number one, by how excellent the schools were in Turkey itself, and number two, by the fact that here was a Turkish movement, and there's obviously a lot of work to be done in Turkey with improving education, and yet some of their resources and some of their personnel were involved all around the world in different schools. There are even Hizmet schools now in the United States. I appreciate the openness, the fact that one doesn't simply do something. I mean, you have to take care of your own people, obviously, but that one can do that and feel that you have a responsibility elsewhere. And it's to Hizmet's credit, and all the people in Turkey who support it, that they have a school system like that. Actually, we visited this elementary school in Konya. We also visited a college in Istanbul, university, as well as I guess kind of a business college or teaching English school, all of which I understand were affiliated with Hizmet. And we talked to some of the students. And I think that one of the advantages of a state school, and a state school that has a commitment to a religious outlook on life, which I can appreciate as a rabbi, is that there's a sort of idealism that you don't get in an ordinary state school. And that's really what I felt in talking to the people, that they were students who felt that it was not just that they were being educated to make a difference primarily in terms of their own life and their own benefit, but that they were being educated to feel that they had to make a contribution to the overall society in terms of their own personal integrity, their own personal commitment to doing good. You know, the Koran says that you're supposed to prescribe the good. You know, and I had the feeling that the Hizmet schools really lived up to taking that commitment seriously. today we're in a world of everybody is interacting. Hizmet'e seems to me to be a very good representative of the best in Islam in terms of being open and feeling a responsibility to the world, and the pluralism that is evidenced in the Koran, which tells us to respect all the prophets and all the people of the book. I've been studying Islam off and on since I was a college student. In the last several years, I've been studying with several imams who are products, I guess, of the Hizmet'e movement. I think they went to their schools. They are involved with the movement here, and it's just wonderful to be able to study with people who share a common commitment to respecting other religions, not having the kind of narrow-minded fanaticism that we see in too many parts of the world. It's really important. Unfortunately, there has been, especially in the last 10, 20 years or so, and after, in this country, in the United States, after the World Trade Center attacks, people who take advantage of Islamophobia, that you should be afraid somehow. The Muslims are going to take over. They're going to introduce Sharia law, and everybody's going to have to wear a veil or other ridiculous things. And unfortunately, there are some people who hope to convert Muslims to Christianity, who use that fear for those purposes, and mixing politics and religion, which is always a terrible thing to do. And Hizmet'e provides a model for people to see, not just in this country, but all over, in the United States, Canada, and Europe, and Asia, that that's not true Islam. True Islam is really a religion that supports pluralism. And all Jews know that basically Jewish life under Islam was always much better than it was under Christian domination. Hizmet'e, I think, is the embodiment of the good forces. There are always some narrow-minded forces around, and it's important to have the good forces there to keep them under control and to keep them from setting public policy and really disgracing the name of God, profaning the name of God. And I think that any movement, and Hizmet'e is a movement like that, that contributes to the non-Muslim world's understanding of Islam, is contributing to the future peace of, and not only peace. I don't mean by peace just that you're not going to have war, not going to have conflict. I mean more than that. I mean, you know, it's like salam, it's like shalom in Hebrew. Peace is a kind of a wholeness. It's a harmony. I remember reading something that Gulen wrote some time ago, where he speaks about, you know, an orchestra where people play different instruments, and they actually have different things to play. I mean, they don't all play the same sheet music. Each one plays according to his instrument. But there's one conductor and there's one composer. So each of us has our one prophet who brought us the book. And of course, the composer we know is all the same, one. And you don't have a symphony if you don't have people with different instruments. If you had 84 people with violins and nobody playing anything else, it wouldn't be a symphony. And that's the richness of the symphony. And that's why people want a symphony when it's got 20 or 30 or 40 members, and not just when it's got 5 or 10. And lots of different instruments, because they can do lots of different things. The composer composes for an orchestra with playing different instruments. And if we understand that, and that's, I think, would help to alleviate a lot of the tensions, the suspicions, the hostilities that exist between people. Because when you get to know people, on a one-to-one basis, you always find that, they're much better than what you hear about the mass, the stereotype, the propaganda.